Are the Georgia Bulldogs in for a down year, or is it back to the college football playoff they go? These are my game-by-game predictions for the Georgia Bulldogs entering the 2025 season. Hello, everyone. I'm Lucas Hill of SEC Live here at the Voice of College Football. Make sure you guys do us a favor. Follow me on X at Lucas Hill SEC. Follow the Voice of College Football at THEBOCFB. This video, as always, thanks to our good friends over at Amazon. Click the Amazon link in the description below. You get you automatically logged in. No purchases necessary whatsoever. Just help support the Voice of College Football. And for more information on that, here's Mark.
You can make a difference here at the Voice of College Football. Use the Amazon link. Financially contribute to the Voice of College Football without spending a penny. Same shopping experience. It's easy. Go to any video on any channel. Go to the description section and grab the link right next to the capital letters that say Amazon. Use that link and Amazon will instantaneously convert to your account, settings, history, everything intact, just like whatever link you use right now. No difference. Pay no attention to the product that you see right there. Just go search what you want. Don't forget the Amazon link. Thank you for your support. Sincerely, the Voice of College Football.
All right, so the Georgia Bulldogs start off with pretty easy schedule. First two games, Marshall coming out to Sanford Stadium. Marshall lost a lot. If this was a Charles Huff-led program without the loss of so many guys that is now at Southern Miss right now, I would say Georgia would be in somewhat of upset territory. Not all the way, though. But I think this would have been a much smaller line than what it is now. I think Georgia just absolutely dominates from start to finish. I think that this is a warm-up game for what we're going to see with Gunnar Stockton, what this offensive line is going to look like, knowing that you lost two key guys at guard and tackle on this offensive line, coming back to Sanford Stadium to play Austin Peay. Another big win there. Again, we'll get another look at what this offense is going to look like. We'll see what the other options are at quarterback as well. Then you go to Tennessee at Neyland Stadium. I think that, once again, a depleted Tennessee roster. Not a whole lot of talent on the defensive side of the ball. I know the Boo Carter situation got a little bit better. I am excited, though, to see what he is going to do at the end of the day, going up against this Georgia receiving room. I think overall, though, this is another Georgia win. I think we start to see signs of what Gunnar Stockton has been able to do this year, man. I really do. And I like Gunnar Stockton at the end of the day. I think he brings a dual threat package, unlike something that we've seen in previous years in the Mike Bobo era. I think he's going to be used in a variety of different ways. I think they're going to utilize him effectively, and I think they're going to help them get off to a nice little start. Then you get the week off. You play Bama at Sanford. You want revenge from last week? Here's my problem. This is a young Georgia secondary that you're having to play. And it doesn't seem fair that Georgia has to have such a young team to start off the season. And this is of no fault of Georgia. You do have a lot of talent. Make no mistake about that. But overall, as a program, you just don't have the depth at this point in time. Alabama is loaded across the board at receiver. I think they're going to air it out with what Ty Simpson has to offer. I think Bama steals one. I think Stockton keeps them in the game for a little bit, but I have Alabama winning this one by at least a touchdown. I don't think it gets past double digits. I think this is still going to be a very competitive game, but I think Bama takes this one and gets Bama back into the top five, maybe even the number one team in the country. Well, yet again, Kentucky the week after for homecoming. Again, everybody's scheduling for Kentucky to be your homecoming. Sucks for Kentucky, man, but I think it's a blowout at this one. Going to Auburn, this is where things are going to turn, because the last time they played Auburn, guys, it was a tight ball game, and it came down to the last few minutes. But this time, we'll see what happens with Georgia's roster. The biggest name that has to step up this year is Oscar Delp. And I think he expected of that last year. Kind of a disappointing season from Delp, who was expected to take leaps and bounds from what Brock Bowers left behind in 2023. I think this is another year where Georgia ends up getting themselves into a bit of a battle early on, but I think in the second half they pull away, get a big win against Auburn. Ole Miss at Sanford Stadium, I think, again, young roster that Ole Miss has, but a lot of production. I think this is another close game, but I don't think you have the same situation of what they had last year. I think they beat Ole Miss in this one, and I think they take care of business at Sanford Stadium. Florida going to Everbank. It's the you look. If DJ Lagway is healthy, which I expect him to be, the array of talent that surrounds him and the completion of that offensive line. This is one of the best O-lines in the SEC, led by the All-American Jake Slaughter. They're going to find a way to ground and pound at this Georgia front four, and they're going to find their way into the end zone just about every drive. I think Florida takes this one, sends Georgia fans into a bit of a panic because, look, guess who's coming back? Guess who comes to Sanford in 2 weeks? We'll get to that in just a minute. You go to Old Mississippi State, who you were in a bit of a battle. They hung around for a little bit, but eventually you pulled away. Again, depleted Mississippi State roster. You just lost a backup that was pretty capable in Mike Van Buren. This is an easy win for Georgia, getting ready to go back to Sanford to play the number one team in the nation. This is where things are going to get sticky. I think Georgia's defense gets pissed off. They needed a spark last year. Last year was Tennessee near the end of the year. This year, I think it's Texas. I think they forced a lot of turnovers against Arch Manning, who's been prone to that at certain points during last year in the times where he did get to play. I think he's going to try to force some issues early on, and I think that Georgia's going to take advantage of that. They're going to counter off of it, and they're going to get a big victory at Sanford. Charlotte, again, it's Charlotte. You should win this one pretty easily by 20, maybe 30. And then here's one that I think a lot of people need to pay attention to. Old school ground and pound with Haynes King and this Georgia Tech offense with Buster Faulkner at the helm, who has done a great job overall, going up against Glenn Schumann. Again, I don't think this is going to be a 7 or 8 overtime game. I do think it's going to be close, though. It's been much more competitive in the last 3 years than it has been in previous years. I do think Georgia, though, at the end of the day, is going to steal this one. I think they take care of business. And I think at the end of the day, Georgia's going to be sitting pretty. I think they're going to get close to getting to the national champ, to the SEC title. They're going to fall just a bit short because of that second loss to Texas. Alabama's going to finish with one loss, which is to Georgia. Texas will finish, I think, with one loss, in my opinion, to Georgia. Georgia's going to finish with a loss to Florida and to, don't quote me on this, I do think that they're going to lose to Bama as well. So, ultimately, not a bad season for Georgia, coming off of what you lost throughout the portal and through the NFL draft last year. I do think you still take a step back, but it's not going to be as bad as what people are going to think. Let me know what your thoughts are on Georgia down below in the comments section. Do I have them too low? Do I have them too high? Is 10-2 good enough, or is it to the point where we're doing too much at this point? Let me know what your comments are down below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in once again to SEC Live here at the Voice of College Football. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, turn on the bell notification every time we post a new video, short, or live show. Make sure you guys are the first ones tuned in. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of the week. Stay blessed.